Okay, at the back beds here for Christian Hanseler, showing off this dogwood bed where we've thoroughly removed weeds and fluffed the soil with mulch. We removed any spent bulbs, really got in with the weeds, the dandelion, the grass. Same thing over here. We're leaving the allium because it's the only thing we got going on over here, and that'll look good for another few weeks hopefully before our next visit. Over here, really deep cleaning, fluffing soil, lots of dandelions and morning glory, and this like imposter plant that keeps popping up everywhere. Nice and tidied. And skipping around over right here, thoroughly weeded and fluffed. We did leave these sweet little flowering guys just to give it something. On to this side, the Russian sage is coming in nicely, weeding in, out, and around. Just loving the color that's starting to pop. So much better. This new grass was installed courtesy of Anne, this tall grass. Okay, and over to here. A little bit flapping over from the storm. The roses, we removed any leftover dead pieces from the winter. Took out more of those spent tulips. Really just fluffing what we can. Very light mulch over here. Honestly, it's pretty overdue for some mulch, so we could get more going. We did notice some large drooping due to the recent storm, I would assume, because I know this got a nice prune back last fall. Well, that's something to keep in mind for our next visit, so we may want to start taming this a little further. Over here, lots of beautiful weeding and planting of the yarrow, the other orange flowers that are going to pop up. Once again from Anne, those were placed there. And then the ivy was cut back to the rock line around the sculpture, out of the base of these pines. We removed more tulips, fluffed in that soil, and just all the way around. Nice view. Keeping as clean of an edge line as we can, and let's note to bring the edge tool because the back of it totally drops off and it might be worth really clarifying that. So let's bring the edger next time. Over here, the junk trees were removed from the side, really just trying to let this vinca sprawl and then any little shrub that's popped up. We did a little bit of lawn maintenance. There were these really long seed pods, so we went around and picked those up. And now I'm going to wind up and down through the common areas. All this was blown out, swept out, debris removed from between the grasses, swept out these entrances, and kind of picked out some tiny leaves from here. Up here, along the stairs, the soil was cleaned and fluffed, and weeded, kept very nice and clean. Same thing over to the neighbor's side. We had some storm debris that was falling, so we picked that up, cleaned, fluffed, weeded a little bit around there just for appearance sake. All the driveways nicely blown out, swept out. And then the neighbors, this is where we laid down or planted in some new variegated grasses from Anne, and then the soil and mulch she requested, and then the lovely side area. Beautiful, clean little gardens, all debris removed, weeded, and then soil fluffed between these grasses, nice and clean. Cleaned up a lot of dead leaves that were still in here from last fall, then along the edge. Thank you so much. I'm cleaning up the debris that was in here, as well as throughout the mulch over here, keeping the ivy from in there. Also, this ivy wall got a trim, so it's nice and tight. It's not impeding on the walkway. So that is a theme that does happen. And then back to this one on the side. Cleaning, weeding all the way through. Really getting the debris out of there. The wisteria and its accompanying branches were naturally chopped to give more headspace. So it was really coming all the way down. The bricks were weeded through, cleaned out, entrances cleaned, sides cleaned. Beautiful little ground cover here. St. John's wort maybe. Clean, swept out, blown out. More mulch distributed here. And then on the side, the wisteria is looking good. We're keeping things from going too far over outside of the wall. Yep, nice and clean soil. We got underneath the black-eyed sambuca, which is enormous, but you can see this nicely weeded ground cover. It's looking good. But yeah, this is preventing the grass from growing. It's not getting any light. It's really, late stage maturity, full size, maybe even overgrown. Peonies were tied up. They were falling over, so we gave them some support. This area was nicely weeded. The alliums are still going strong. Got some nice ground cover all the way along. Tidied up any dead that was in here. And then this has got a nice form. These roses were starting to come too far into the ground again. And then keeping it out of the walkway. Out of the walkway right there. And that summarizes our spring cleanup here. So I should point out a couple shrubs like this one, black-eyed sambuca, and the one in the back that are just really large. Gonna have to approach them with some tact for our next visit or sometime this year if we want to get those things to a more manageable state. Otherwise, really beautiful day. Thank you very much.